Just 1 week after BCS Vancouver, I attended my first ever Discord Locals and Curly Haired Heroes server. I took VARGA this week, and this is how I prepared for the event. But seriously though, when I was playing this deck, I played it a lot in Vancouver. This is when I finally got the deck physically, and I play tested a lot as well as I went 1-2 in Standard. I got sacked out. You know, Bat. I love Bat. Let's do nothing about Bat. I love Bat so much. Woo! My BCS runs! The VARGA list I brought is what I would consider the more typical Rakshasa list, but it leans more into an aggressive game plan to have a better shot at beating Levy Dress and Reziel specifically, as well as just out aggro, just the normal decks you'd find in the room. This version is really good at building an early board presence with the use of grade 1 Virgilla, the 4 Shenris, and just really good grade 1s and 2s that you're able to commit early without much punishment, because turn 3 onward, you're able to replenish your hand easy and just recycle your cards with no sweat, so you're always having a fat hand, and a pretty healthy hand at that. On top of VARGA constantly swinging, so it's asking for more cards out of the opponent's hand, and the dreaded Divine skill. Most people think about the Divine skill as this most aggressive thing ever, where it's just make your opponent stay low, or you just force the big swing whenever you want. But one thing that people don't think about is the extra Twin Drive is also a utility skill, because sometimes your hand may just be 5Ks or something. So there's times where even I find myself swinging with VARGA not to just go for game, which you can use it for, don't get me wrong. You also use it to refill your hand if you're in a bad spot, so when you know you can win next turn if you can make it there. And the big card I want to talk about, which is my favorite card in the deck, is Storm Slasher. It's just a simple 13k body once you hit Rakshasa, but it's also a body that will stay on board forever. Do not do not think about Messiah and Vermilion. We're not going to think about that right now. Okay. But it's a very versatile card because it just floats around your board. It's almost like Virgilla, but it just won't go away besides the you can't get rid of me. And with it being a 13k body, it's really good with your Boulder Axe columns, your Shura columns, but on your Rakshasa turns, they're also really good because you get a free booster after you clear the back row, or on the turn where you're committing Shenri after killing it, so the CB skill, you're able to put the Storm Slasher behind it, so it has a 13k booster, so she can be 20, 30, 43, 48 if you do the Energy Blast skill from Shura. Storm Slasher is a really good versatile card, and I hope that VARGA, when it gets more support, it will actually keep continuing these nice fluctuating cards. But the card pool right now, it is pretty cool, I will say. And one thing that I would like the deck to have, and I know a lot of people have said it, but I have very different reasoning for it. I do want this deck to get CC, not for the free Vanguard attacks basically, which people are scared of, but with Shura and like other cards, like more uses for Falheart, things like that. More CB leads to more versatile and interesting gameplays, which is what I want. This deck can get complex once it gets more tools to the trade. It doesn't have to be good. Don't feel hung up on it, but if it gets a counter charge, it'd be really cool just to mess with some more. So the locals this week was standard format, and it was nice, bright, and early for me. Thankfully, I know some people have to wake up so late because of just how many people show up to these things. It was a 16-person bracket. Actually, I think it ended up being 15 because there was a bye floating around. Round 1, I went against Odium. I went first and I lost. It was a simple game of I couldn't find a crit on my final turn, and they had 9 cards in deck. 3 of them were triggers, one of them being OT.
That's 13 triggers total because I have no cards in hand and I just lost a card from my damage.
Cards in deck.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 1 in 3.
And the OT did matter, but it was in this weird calculated risk of it was their only out, but not in a gut punch way. So I'm not too upset with it. This Odium did end up winning the entire event, which go them. The big thing was I was always under the impression that Odium used blue OT. So red OT, effectively the same with the crit, you know, but I saved a PG for the other lane, hoping it didn't go through. But it being red OT, not blue, it actually killed me. Oh, it's red. Oh no. But I got told after the fact that people are leaning to purple or red, so, you know, that was just on me for assuming. But the OT did matter, but not in a terrible way. I actually thought that way the game ended, it was satisfying for me. Round 2, I went against Zorga. I went second because I lost die roll, and they saw everything. Honestly, they found the RPDs easy. They had like 2 Filanders. They found the Shadow Cloaks easy. I got really lucky though, even though I went second and I lived through a full board. I think I went to 4 damage, but I was able to crit and go through that hand, and that's when I realized with their Shadow Cloak they only bounced to PG, and I realized their hand was really fake. So I kind of just won that game without knowing that like, I had it in the bag. Like they were already at 4 once I did my second Vanguard swing, so I did Divine Skilled, blah 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 blah. Classic Varga things. I am shocked I won that game though. Something that happened during round 2, which is really important, is you liked and subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it and really pushes these videos out to people. And sorry, just like and subscribe. It'll be really cool. Round 3 was against my buddy BB. Hi BB. You should have played Odium. He was playing Reziel the day of. So he was gonna play Odium, but he last minute switched to Reziel, and he went like I think he dropped after this game.
Well, I should have played Odium, man. I should have played Odium. I should have played Odium. I should have played Odium.
Won the game. Most of my practice was into Reziel before this, so luckily I just was able to just rush him down, and I knew not to be scared of that. They Divine Skilled for like 1 or 3 crits, something like that.
Divine Skill.
How many?
1.
Their Divine Skill did proc, but I was able to just keep up the aggression because I just had a big hand. Like, it just happens, so I could just guard the whole turn. Yeah, it like this game, I like tried to go for the kill with the Divine Skill, but luckily Divine Skill is a utility skill, so I had more cards in hand, so I just guaranteed my win for the following turn. BB he never found Dog or Nilberis in time, so that is to his detriment. It was technically a clean win, but definitely not the best that the Reziel could have pulled out. Round 4, I went first into Bat, and I want to give context. In Vancouver, my run ended because I played into Bat and I went first. In both games, I died because I hit no defensives and I could do nothing. And they made it to 14 orders, and they had 2 Jumbo Crushers, and I was at 2 damage because I was real ignorant with the Eva starter, thinking it was actually Eva, and I realized my mistake when I ditched a crit for grade 1 ride. And I realized my mistake because I only had 5Ks in my hand, and next thing I know, I eat a crit early, and I already feel like I'm out of the game, even though the Bat went second. But yeah, they did their thing. They made it to 14 orders. They joked saying only 14, and I'd clap back with only 14, and apparently if they did something different, they would have 15.
All right. So only 14.
Only.
Honestly, if I had played the what's it called, if I did soul charge off the meteor, I could have played the 15th order. I can pay the cost.
So, you know, I didn't get to. There's no counterplay to that. You just die to that, especially when you hit no defensives, when you have 2 heals and an OT left in deck. Oh well, like in the B roll, the 2 cards left in my hand are 2 Rakshasas, and I ditched one for a PG. My hand was nothing. I couldn't stabilize anything. And what sucks is I almost won that game, but I didn't hit a crit. Oh my god. I hate that so much, man. It's such a dumb deck. Oh, I need Mo Flash banned now, please. Oh. It was a fun locals until the Bat happened. However, you know, you need the Bat to be represented so the Bat will get hit. So it's like give and take. But oh my god, 2 back-to-back runs. Oh my god. In the end, I got 6th place. Really happy to score just 2-2. I mean, I'll take it. Especially since I don't play standard that much in comparison to premium, which also isn't that much. But, you know, I'm just like, it's fun to do locals. And that's kind of the big thing about it. It's just fun to do locals. Also, ban Mo Flash. All in all, I want to thank Curly for hosting these tournaments in his Discord. Being able to organize these are so awesome for people like me that doesn't have physical locals right now. So I'm glad that I was able to do it, especially now that I have physical decks, which I didn't have until I went to Vancouver, specifically up-to-date decks. You know, Great Nature can take you so far. They're free entries. and just anyone can join them. I highly recommend you do it because I had fun, a lot of people had fun, and the more people that join, the more Vanguard people can play all around. At the time of recording this, next week's locals will be a premium one, so expect me to play something absolutely spicy. If you see my Twitter, you know exactly what this deck is. I love it so much. But yeah, that was it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this format. I want to do more like videos like these over deck profile, so yeah, please stay tuned. Bye bye.